Yeah, I thought Wednesday in practice he was fairly close to full speed, well enough to take reps, and thought he had another good practice. So um, I saw in the team. I didn't get to talk to him because we've got quite a few people here today, recruits and other things. But in our team meeting, I saw him and he had the therapy stuff on it right then, but didn't get to ask him. But he's going today, so he'll. I think he's okay.
So far, right, Bill?
You talked at the beginning of the spring about possibly doing spring game points, things like that. You still looking at doing that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think as it stands right now, I think we're healthy enough to do that format so that we get. Look, y'all know me by now. I'm pretty just candid with what I think. I don't, spring games for us when it's us against us is I don't want to waste a day. And the temptation and challenge for us as coaches is it can be a wasted day as far as not, when I say wasted, not a wasted day for the fans or for recruiting or any of that, but for the actual practice itself, you want to make all 15 of our practices count. And that's a very difficult setting for us to really do what we want to do. It's going to be videoed. It's going to be aired, I'm sure, on the SEC network over and over again. There will be somebody trying to video who's signaling, just all the craziness that goes with our sport. And so I want to prepare the Auburn family that we're going to do the best we can to hopefully give them those that choose to come, and I hope many will come. But we're going to give them a game that day that I hope that they can enjoy, but yet understand. Gosh, we don't really know who we are offensively right now, and that's probably the way I want it to be perceived by most, because we're a new staff, and one of the advantages that we might have coming into a season is there's nothing really on tape of what this new staff is exactly like. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but for the format of the spring game, we will the defense will be given a selected number of points. I will let our staff decide that, and then I will start drives at various spots, and hopefully some end in points. And if the defense can hold the offenses to under that point, the defense wins the spring game, and they'll get to eat steak or something, and the losers will eat a hot dog. Something like that. But that's the best format I know. I don't want to come up with some system where we have to calculate points based on anything other than what's normally points in football. So I don't know. Did I answer your question? So that's the goal right now. Unless something drastic, we're going to have a contact practice today, and non-contact Wednesday, and a walkthrough Friday. So hopefully we get through today fairly well and can pull that off for Saturday.
Hugh, I know you said before the spring started you were more concerned with doing a few things right rather than trying to throw too much at them. What are some things you think the team has done well in that regard, and what are some things you're still looking to improve on in this last week?
I've been pleased with our tackling in the tackle periods. Now, granted, we haven't had that many, but typically when you don't do that, you're really concerned. And I'm not saying that won't be a concern, but we've tackled fairly well in the scrimmages. I think offensively we feel pretty good about 2 or 3 run schemes that we're doing that have been successful, and I think we have good variety with those. I still think we're searching for consistency in exactly what's going to be our bread and butter in the passing game. And then defensively, probably just how much more are we going to add, to have enough in the arsenal to have a great game plan.
Jason?
You, first of all, thanks for keeping equations out of it for us.
Yeah.
Math
Yeah. Touchdown, 6 points. Extra point's going to be 1. Yeah. If they pick it off and run for a touchdown, that's also 6 points. Yeah. You don't get a point for a fumble. I mean, I just, yeah.
When you look at this final week, how have you seen the offense progress? Have they taken some steps since you guys kind of changed the way the teaching has gone?
Truthfully, Wednesday was the exact opposite of the previous Friday, and it was a total domination by the offense, which I don't have the luxury of leaving the practice field feeling good either way. So I thought 2 Fridays ago we stunk on offense, and I hope we're really good on defense. And then Wednesday I left practice thinking, we stink on defense. Maybe we're pretty good on offense. So the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. And we're nowhere near where we need to be on either side yet. But the offense had a really good day Wednesday.
Tobias, back left.
Coach Freeze, how do you mentioned giving the fans a good show, that's obviously part of it, especially in your first year, but also getting what you need to get done. What's the process on that? How do you work through it?
Well, the first step was to come before the media day for y'all to get the message out to the fans that don't expect too much. Truthfully, I think expectations, when you have unrealistic expectations and they're not met, I think this is anything in life, period, football, life, unrealistic expectations lead to frustration. And so I just don't want anybody to be frustrated. We're probably headed into the next year are going to be quite good at getting in a huddle and slowing things down, and you might see that Saturday. Is that who we really are as an identity? I don't know. I've never been that, but you might see some of that. All the coaches do it, and maybe I'm falling into that, but I really just don't want to show too much of what we think we might be really good at. And so that was truthfully just me being candid with them. I mean, they're going to see us hit, and they're going to see us tackle, and they're going to see people run the ball and people throw the ball. And will it be exactly the same that they see this fall? I sure hope not. I hope it's better and probably a little different.
Go far right.
You were talking about a couple of weeks ago the inside linebackers and the progress they've made. What that group how much more have you kind of seen from them, especially with some new faces at that position?
There's been some inconsistencies, but I want to say I believe in our schemes, offensively, the tight end room has the absolute most on their plate. It is the hardest job that our offense has. Defensively, the same is true with the linebackers. And so it's brand new. All the verbiage is new. Your installations are new. There's a lot on them, and some of the times it just takes reps, and that'll lead into fall camp. But I think, truthfully, I think when I look at the linebacker room, I think Eugene and Austin and Cam and Robert and Wesley and obviously, hopefully, Tolan can come along as a young kid too, and Powell, all those guys. But I really think that Eugene and Austin, Cam, Robert, and Wesley are solid players.
Bill?
Last week you talked about Holden standing out, having a good week. How did things go for him last week?
Solid. I think he has a real chance to be a solid quarterback, but I think the other two, again, had good days also, better days. And so the interesting thing will be their response to the competition that's created and that has been created. that will continue to go on. And being the quarterback to me at an SEC school, at a place like Auburn, carries a lot of weight with it. And that weight doesn't end when spring practice 15 is over. And how does that go through summer? And what does that look like in the leadership of this team? And that will all play into ultimately who gets that first nod. And it's be interesting to see how all respond to that.
Jason?
You talked about running backs and having a strong day. What have you seen out of that room with Jarquez and Damari and Brian Batiste, especially those guys?
Well, I think Jarquez is special. I do. I think he's probably the best running back I've ever coached, truthfully. I haven't had a lot of great ones, but I think he's a really, really good running back. We had solid ones, Jordan Wilkins and that crew at Ole Miss were pretty good. Day Hunter was the best one we had at Liberty. I had a pretty good one at Arkansas State in Frankie, but I think Jarquez is the best that I've coached thus far, and excited about his demeanor and the way he goes about his work. Keeps his mouth shut and just goes to work. And if you want to play kickoff team or punt team, or he's all, let's go and let's do it. And not that we want him to do that. Really excited about Damari too, and I think Brian adds a different dimension to that group. So hopefully we can stay healthy there.
We're gonna stay on the front row, 3 in a row.
Coach, you clearly don't want to put anything on tape that can be evaluated by anybody who would be game planning against you. But what do you hope to get from A-Day, given what you said? Like, what makes A-Day a success? This will be some of the biggest games that you've played.
Well, I'm going to cry again for the solution to the solution is allow us to scrimmage somebody on A-Day, another team. And I think everybody would get out of it exactly what they want. And if everybody's doing that, then, and let's adopt a charity to give all the proceeds to. Let's take foster care in the state of Alabama or orphan care in the state of Alabama, and let's Alabama play Troy and we play UAB or vice versa or whoever, I don't care, or Alabama State or whoever, and people will come see that. And you're decreasing your injury possibilities by 50%. And coaches are smart enough to control, we're not going to hit each other's quarterbacks. We practice that way. And if you want to put a blue jersey or a different jersey on somebody that's don't take to the ground, we can do that. And I just think it would be great for the sport. I think it would be awesome. NFL gets to scrimmage against others. High schools get to scrimmage against each others. And I just, for the life of me, I don't understand why we haven't gotten to that point where we can pull that off and do something that would be helpful to some organization in each state. And if every state did this, man, we could make an impact on some people that need it. And that would be my idea. And until that happens, I think all of us are going to be very guarded. Number one, you don't want to get anybody hurt. And you know that everybody's probably videotaping your signalers and everything else that's going on. So you just it's just kind of an uncomfortable day. So what do I want to get out of it? I want our fans to be excited about the momentum that is being created here. Do we have still a ways to go? Yes. But that doesn't mean we can't be excited about where we are currently. And somehow I've got to try to figure out a way that I want all of those things to occur. And that's not easy.
Brian?
Yes, anybody catch your eye last week? Maybe a player that's really improved from practice 1 to say 12?
Yes, Messiah Nasil Kite. I thought he improved probably the most from practice 1 to last week in the D-line as any. He was disruptive and plays the game extremely passionately and hard. He definitely caught my eye. Ken Lee has just continued to catch our eye and flash. I think he's got a chance. Gilbert at safety, I thought, made a lot of strides also. So those are kind of guys defensively that did. Offensively, I thought we improved at receiver. We caught the ball better. We were more consistent. And I knew that would probably come because it's just, when you put in a new system and the route spacing is bad and they're trying to understand that exactly, it takes time. And I thought we improved there. And so Rivaldo made some phenomenal catches. I think we're solid at the tight end room. Luke Deal's an incredible leader. Tyler Fromm, those guys are just that's a really solid room that sets the culture that you want for this team.
Mr. Stoltz?
Mike asked my question, so I'll shut up.
Okay. Tom?
You mentioned the idea of facing another program for a spring game. Is that an idea that you've tried to run up the flagpole?
I started that when I was at Ole Miss, and it just has never gotten any traction. So I guess I'm the only one that's kind of interested in it. And but to me, it makes too much sense not to do it. But haven't heard any traction for it.
The far left, back left, Levi's.
Hugh, just when you look at your quarterback room, just for us, can you kind of tell us some things that you have seen each guy improve?
Robbie's pocket presence, quieter feet in the pocket. TJ's playing within the system has gotten better. He's made some accurate throws. Just sometimes it shouldn't have been thrown. It should have been handed off. So this was new to him, so he's done that. Holden's accuracy, particularly on down the field throws. He had several explosives Wednesday. I think has improved. Still got to work on his. He's got to get still in the pocket too, but he's still young.
And then what are you looking to see the guys do this week?
Yeah, just continue to prove. Taking care of the ball, number one. Understanding situational football. If it's 2nd and 1, we have an RPO throw tagged in the run. We at no point should think we have to force that just because if the pitcher's cloudy, we're calling it, hand it off. Just eliminating some of those decisions. Taking care of the ball, number one. Pocket presence and decision making.
Time for a few more? Good? All right. Oh, wait, sorry, Michael, you got one more?
You mentioned that the wide receivers had improved, and you mentioned Rivaldo Fairweather made some great catches.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you've identified possibly that's going to be a number one receiver at this level for you? Who's your standout?
Man, Rivaldo's been the most consistent from day one to whatever the day is now as catching the football, particularly in tight quarters. He's got catch radius, can do those things. I would say probably Jay Fair and Javaris Johnson have had the most consistent, spring camp. Now, mind you, Camden's been out for a large portion of it with his ankle, as has Malcolm, with his clavicle. So I haven't had those. Landon's made some strides, as has, Nick Mardner. But, heck, even, Dawson had 2 long explosive catches the other day. So I think all have improved some. It's just way too early. I mean, you're going to play in this system 8 receivers a game, and I don't really care who's first team, second. I don't really care about all that. I care that they understand what we're doing and are in the right spots, doing the right technique, and hopefully can finish plays.